Good morning, friends. Welcome to Columbine United Church. It is so great to have you here. Before we begin the service, we always like to share with you a few announcements. First of all, I want to invite those of you who are on the ends of the aisle, look for the red friendship pads. This is a great way to register your attendance. Please take the pad, fill it out, fill out all your information, tell us who in your family is sitting with you, and then pass the pad down the aisle. You might even need to kind of cross over the aisle to get it to the next person. Note who is seated with you in the aisle. Try to put some names and faces together. If you don't recognize somebody with their name and the face, then it's your job to go find them after the service and introduce yourselves to them. We don't want any strangers here at Columbine. Everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome. But that means that everybody needs to reach out to people after the service. If you're a newcomer to Columbine, it's great to have you here today. Hey, I want to talk about generosity in the summer. I know that people start going on vacation. You can't come to church every Sunday. Well, I want to encourage your generosity, even if you're not here on vacation. You can do an automatic withdrawal from your bank account. You can give online on our website. We have the ability to take a credit card on Sunday morning. You can write a check, mail it into the church. Make sure that you give throughout the summer because the work of the church continues on. So thank you so much for your generosity. Hey, do you know we have a yoga class Tuesday night at 6:30? You can join Jenny for yoga. We also have a Tai Chi class Wednesday from 4 to 5 o'clock with John Rankin. Two great ways to kind of exercise your body, exercise your soul. Both of them are great kind of body-soul connection. Work yourself out. So Tai Chi and yoga. And then a lot of other things happening with our youth group. We want you to pay attention to everything that's going on. Visit our website to find out more information.
Hey y'all, Party Team has dreamed up a party you won't want to miss. On Sunday evening, July 24th, we're going to have a barbecue and country line dancing. We're going to smoke up a ton of baby back ribs and then sauce them up till they're finger licking good. We're going to have those barbecued ribs and all the fixings for dinner. And when we're done licking our fingers, we're going to learn some cowboy moves and have some fun on the dance floor. Tickets are on sale for $15 a piece, and we have to limit it to the first 125 people in line. So see me after church or call the church office to reserve your spot.
As always, there's lots going on here at Columbine. You heard about the barbecue and all the other fun things. Here's a couple others I'll remind you of. Sunday the 31st of July, we will spend an afternoon, late afternoon, evening at Staunton, where we will have a potluck and grill up there if the fire danger is low, but hike around. It's so fun. And so we have the whole picnic pavilion reserved up there. So I encourage you to put that on your calendar if you're around that weekend. Also, just want to personally invite you to participate in the all-church campout yurt trip at the YMCA of the Rockies up there by Winter Park. That is the last weekend in August. And so you can go online and sign up or reach out to me and we will get you more information. But please participate. You know, it is really through participating that we experience the joy and life of being in community together. So let us continue in our time this morning of worship together.
Before we dive in this morning, I just want to say a word of thanks to Elan Worley, Alana's Tag's wife. Alana is not a member of the church, but one time she came to the church and she realized the grounds need some help around here. And so she dove in as a non-member and gave 3 days working in the heat, weed eating, trimming, shaping things up. It was a hot blazing 3 days, and she voluntarily gave her time. And I started thinking to myself, you know, this is what we need here at the church. We need people who see something that needs to be done, and they just dive in and they do it. You know, and it's an ongoing thing. We need a grounds committee and we need a building committee. We need a group of people who will be dedicated to taking care of the grounds. Maybe you're a gardener. Maybe you love being out in the garden weeding and taking care of things. If that's you, we need you. We need you if you want to take care of the inside of the building. We need to put together a building committee who will clean, make sure things are taken care of. Especially if you think about this, our building is being used now. Our new facility is so cool. It's being used by so many outside groups. But our cleaning group, our cleaning business, they only come twice a week. But if we have a big thing on Sunday and then something on Monday, there's no cleaning that happens Sunday night. We need people to volunteer to do some cleaning. We need people to volunteer back at the sound desk. You know, our sound desk people are our unsung heroes. They're back there, Mike and Susie Hiskey and Tag. If they're not on top of their job, we don't sound good. We need a lot of people helping back at the sound desk. So many different places that you can volunteer. Right now, I want to say thank you to Alan Worley for all of her work. Tag, pass it on to Alan. All right, Sarah, I think it's yours. Take it away.
You ready?
We're ready.
Just stand up on your feet. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Here we go, joy. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything. Peace is my source. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything. Back to God. Here we go. God is my source. God is my source. Are you guys singing? So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. Again, God gives me everything. God gives me everything. Last one, here we go. God gives me everything I need. All right, you may be seated.
After baking camp, I might need some really special souls. Just kidding. But baking camp is this week. So if you are here next week, come a little bit early so you can grab coffee, because I'm going to throw half of what they make in the freezer for Sunday. So cinnamon rolls and scones and quiches, brownie bites, all those things. So if first service doesn't eat all of it, early and you can have some next week. Let us take a breath. This is one of the things we do at Columbine, right? Welcome to those of you who are new. I met a couple new families this morning. We take a breath, we pause, and then we invite you to come forward in a time of meditation to light a candle. This morning I invite you to take a deep breath and, like my yoga instructor has me do, breathe in, count to 4, and breathe out. We all come into this place with so much on our mind and our heart. What does it look like to be present today, to receive the gifts of this space, in this moment? Maybe it's a smile of a friend. Maybe it's an awesome song that lifts your soul. What is it that you've come for today? Be present here to receive the gifts of this time. We invite you during the song to come forward as you're feel led, if you want to light a candle for those things that are heavy on your heart or for the joys that fill your soul. Take a moment to acknowledge those.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
There is so much to be grateful for our lives, and that kind of singing that song and lighting the candles just is touching. It reminds us that our lives are full of abundance. Our scripture reading this morning comes to us from Matthew's Gospel, the 13th chapter, 2 sections, verses 1 through 9, and then 18 through 23. Now, you know this parable. If you've been coming to church at all since you were a kid, you know this parable blind. So this is going to be kind of a reminder of the parable. This is a parable of the sower and the different soils. So as I read the parable, there are different kinds of soils. I want you to think today, this morning, what kind of soil am I? Just from that perspective, ask yourself the question, what kind of soil am I? Okay, listen to the parable of the soil. Soils. That same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat beside the sea. Such great crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat there while the whole crowd stood on the beach. And he told them many things in parables, saying, "Listen, a sower went out to sow. And as he sowed, some seeds fell on the path, and the birds came and ate them up. Other seeds fell on the rocky ground where they did not have much soil, and they sprang up quickly since they had no depth of soil. But when the sun rose, they were scorched, and since they had no root, they withered away. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on good soil and brought forth grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Let anyone with ears listen. And then in verse 28 or 18 through following, Jesus interprets the parable about what it means. Jesus says, "Hear then the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what is sown in the heart. This is what was sown on the path. As for what was sown on rocky ground, this is the one who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Such a person has no root, but endures only for a while. And when trouble or persecution arises on account of the word, that person immediately falls away. As for what was sown among the thorns, this is the one who hears the word, but the cares of the world and the lure of wealth choke the word, and it yields nothing. But as for what was sown on good soil, this is the one who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and yields in one case 100-fold, in another 60, and in another 30. Hear the passage, and may God bless these words as I seek to apply them to our lives. All right, I need to pick up my clicker. I forgot to bring it up with me. Very good. All right, did you think about that? Did you hear this passage and you thought about what kind of soil you were? So take a moment. What kind of soil are you? Are you the hard path and the birds that pick it up? Are you the rocky that lacks depth? Or are you the weedy that chokes the seed? Or are you the good soil? Now think about that. Got it? Now, turn around, find someone in your aisle around you, and I want you to ask and share with one another today, in this morning, what kind of soil are you? Take a moment. Go do that. Okay, let's bring it back around here to the front. Now, Jill Vanderwall, we're done. She gets off on this. She really does. All right, now let's kind of out yourself to everybody. Who didn't have enough coffee this morning? Slept in, the alarm clock went off late, and you slept right through it. How many of you are the hard path and the birds take your seat? How many of you that today? Anybody? You were at the good soil this morning at the 8 o'clock. You lied. I know there's peer pressure. That's the whole idea. Put a little peer pressure. All right, how many of you are the rocky soil? In other words, you didn't have clean clothes to put on this morning. The shower didn't work. You started off the good day, but then things went south. How many of you are kind of rocky soil? A couple rocky soils, kind of rocky soil, rocky soil. What about the weedy soil? Things are started good, but then it's kind of choked out because there's so much going on around in your life. How many of you are like, that's me. That's kind of me. Right. How many of you are like on top of your game today? I mean, things are going well. You coffeed, you clean clothes, clean underwear. Everything is going right for you today. You're just good soil. Why don't you raise your hand if you're good soil? Yeah, some of you are good soil. I love that. I love that. I love that kind of being good soil. You know, that's what's kind of going on in this parable of the sower. You know, all summer it's been so fun, and we're only halfway done. We're looking at the different parables that Jesus told. These little stories have this amazing way of grabbing hold of us and turning us. And one of the things that Jesus does in these parables is he tells them, and when you hear them, they're designed for the hearer. When you hear them, you have to identify with either a certain person in the parable or a certain character in the parable or a concept in the parable. So like in this parable, the way that I have taught this parable is to ask yourself, well, what kind of soil am I? When you hear the parable, you can't help but identify, am I the hard path? Am I the rocky soil? Am I the weedy soil? Or I'm the good soil? With the purpose being, of course, we all want to be good soil. That's what we all want to be. We all want to be good soil. And so it begs the question, well, what do I need to do to become good soil? And you know, Jill, Samantha, and I preach about this over and over and over again. If you want to be good soil, you got to tap into your joy. What brings you joy? You know, at our life group between the services, which, by the way, if you don't know this, come early. We have a great life group that meets back in the Fireside Chapel. Check how many people we have there today. We had about 15. Yeah, 15 people, a good conversation, a good group of people. And we were talking about joy, and Janet Kester talks about joy in the Ollie program. She teaches an Ollie class, and she loves to talk with people about, she asks people, strangers, where do you find your joy? And she says, the majority of people find their joy with their pets. That's their number one answer, is they find their joy with their pets. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I have a lot of pets. I kind of find joy with my pets. You know where I find my joy recently, though? My trampoline. My trampoline. You know, we had a trampoline for the kids. And the kids have long since graduated. They've left the house, and the trampoline is sat there. I don't know what got me on top of the trampoline. Maybe it's part of my morning workout. I got on the trampoline. I have been having a hot spitting good time jumping up and down on my trampoline. My neighbors think I'm nuts. Here I am, 63, jumping around on my trampoline. One, it's a good workout, but two, it works on your equilibrium. The older you get, you got to get used to your brain jumping up and down. But it is just fun. What do you do that's fun, that brings you joy? If you want to be good soil, you're going to find something that you're joyful about, that brings you, that you're passionate about, that you're happy about, that you found your purpose in life, and you discovered your purpose, and you're living your purpose. That kind of stuff, breaks up that soil. An additional part for me is my spirituality. When you do a deep dive into your spirituality, and you think about who you are as a child of God, and you read the scriptures, and you pray daily, and you kind of come to church, you kind of meditate on who I am as a child of God, that kind of breaks up that soil to make you good soil, But when I started thinking about this, that really, when I take into the wholeness the parable, that I'm really not just one soil, that really I'm kind of all the soils. Given the day that I have and my mental health and what I've got going on around me, I might be the hard soil where the bird takes, and I might be the rocky soil, I might be the weedy soil, I might be the good soil. But there's a lot of times where I'm just that hard path where the bird comes and takes the seed. There's a great book that I love by Elizabeth Gilbert. She who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. How many of you read Eat, Pray, Love? That's kind of viewed as a woman's book, a chick's book. That's a fantastic book. If you're looking for a great book, that is a great book to read. I so enjoyed it. And she followed up with this book called Big Magic. It's Creative Living Beyond Fear. And she talks about creativity, and she says the Creator bombards us with ideas, just bombards us with ideas. And she said most of the time, we just like, no, kind of blow it off. I'm too busy. No, I can't do that. And those are like those seeds that fall on the path, and when we blow it off, it's like that bird coming and picking the seed. But she says if you pay attention to those seeds of creativity, she says that's when the big magic happens, because then the universe, God kind of conspires with you to bring that seed to fruition, the big magic. And sometimes I realize I want to be that type of good soil, but really sometimes I'm just not there. Other times I'm the rocky soil. That soil that kind of, it springs up, there's good intention, but it just kind of lacks depth. I decided that that's where I am on Wednesday night. Wednesday night, I'm rocky soil. Sunday is come and gone. Sunday is always a fun day. I love Sunday. Monday is full of meetings and committees and finances and all this kind of stuff. Tuesday is staff persons, hospital visitations, counseling sessions, meetings, classes at the night. Wednesday is my sermon writing, class preparation, meeting with staff, meeting with people, trying to get the next Wednesday is where I got to get focused on next Sunday coming in. Wednesday night when I go home, I am brain dead. I am rocky soil, not much there. When are you rocky soil? When are you weedy soil? If you are an American Christian, you are weedy soil. Pretty hard not to be weedy soil, because there's all that good intention that we have to being children of God, to living the kingdom seeds. But you know what? We're so stressed by things. We're so stressed by things. I mean, we have our mortgages to pay. We have our car payments. We have insurance. We got to raise our kids. Got to buy kids clothes and get them out the door. Make sure they're not shot at schools. Yuck. We have to save for our retirement. We save for our kids' colleges. So many different things are just kind of grabbing a hold of us. So they're just strangle us. So, we're not just one soil. We're all of the soils. I think that's a kind of a place to begin. That we're literally all of those soils, and we need to strive to become good soil. That's kind of a traditional understanding of the parable. But I want to spin the parable a little bit, and I want to give you one of my favorite interpretations of the parable that I try to pay attention to when I listen to this parable and teach the parable, and that is to identify with the sower. What have we heard the story from the perspective of the sower, and maybe ask ourselves, how are we the sower? Because, oftentimes we don't identify with the sower because we want to say, well, that's God. God's the sower, so I'm not going to be that. Well, maybe we need to say, well, maybe I am like God. God invites me to be like God. And I need to hear this from the sower because there's so much to learn here. I love the sower. She's this great caster of seeds. She's not worried about what kind of soil. She's got a bucket, and there's just so much seed, and she's just casting it out everywhere she goes. Because, oftentimes when I think about sowers, I'm not really a gardener, but I think about somebody going, a seed here, a seed here, a seed here, a seed here, covering it up, watering it, and so that's not who this sower is. She's taking seed, and she's just flinging them out there, And I thought to myself, what a great image for God to be like. God is not worried about what kind of soil you are. God is just casting kingdom seeds out there. And how can we be this way? How can we be this abundant type of people and live with the joy of just casting kingdom seed? My 3.5-year-old grandson, Holden, you're going to get so sick and tired of hearing Holden stories. And now that I got a baby Graham, you're going to be hearing Holden Graham stories. So get used to it. He taught me what this means to be a kingdom caster. I have meadow grass around my house. It's not really a lawn, it's meadow grass. And I have these gargantuan, big old brown spots from the winter. So I ordered this combination seed mulch that goes together, and the directions are pretty clear. Take it, evenly space it through the blank space so that the mulch and the seed comes together so you have an evenly spaced lawn. All right, so we had Holden. He was taking a nap, and I was trying to get this done before he wakes up. Of course, he gets up early. He goes to the front door, sees what I'm doing. Pop! Pop! I help! Pop! I'm going, great, here we go. And so Holden comes running out, and I try to give the 3.5-year-old directions. Holden, evenly space it. Got it! Whoa! Whoa! He kept running back, and he's grabbing stuff. Whoa! Throwing it. Woo! He was having so much fun. Seed was going on the driveway. Seed was going on the dog bowl. Seed was just going everywhere it could. And he was having the best time doing it. Actually, his seeds came up better than mine did. But I thought to myself, what a great image for God. God being a 3.5-year-old who out of sheer joy is flinging seeds. Not worrying about what kind of soil people are, but just flinging seeds. Wouldn't that be awesome to think about God being in this way? No judgment. No worries about who you are, what kind of soil you are, but just flinging seed. And how would our lives turn if we became like that? If we became kind of abundant people and lived that way? Wouldn't that just like free us up? You know, so often we live choked. Whatever we open up and cast kingdom seeds out from us. You know, I was thinking about this. How do we cast kingdom seeds? And the first thing I was thinking about wisdom. You know, you all here have today so much wisdom. Are you sharing your wisdom? You know, are you sharing your wisdom with the next generation? Are you sharing your wisdom with your children, with your grandchildren, with your nephews and nieces, with the kids in your neighborhood? You know, sometimes we think, no one wants to hear what I've learned. No, people desperately want to hear what you have to say. You know, we raise our children up, and when they're teenagers, they think you don't know snot, right? And then, but then when you're in your 30s, when they're in their 30s, they come to you and they suddenly say, hey, Dad, what do you think I ought to do here? That always like drops me dead. When they're asking me a question, and it's like they want my wisdom on this. And so it's a matter of taking the time and sharing your wisdom. How are you sharing your wisdom? Are you writing a letter to a little child that can be read after you're dead and gone and it's opened up on their 21st birthday? Are you writing a blog? Are you sitting down in some way, shape, or form sharing what you know to be true? See, for me, that's like kingdom seed. Going out, sharing your wisdom. You're very wise people. You're very wise people. All of you in your different stations of life, I look out here and I see people of all different ages. Wisdom, sharing your wisdom. And what about our financial wisdom, our financial generosity, our financial kingdom seeds? You know, so many of us live by the stock market. And you know, and our emotions kind of, and, you know, as we see, you know, our finances just kind of like disappear, especially right now. And when that happens, we tighten up. We put the brakes on. And, you know, and I keep on thinking, how can we move beyond that type of thinking with our finances and be generous? We talk about generosity here at the church. It's kind of like who we are. It's what we're about. We're generous. We deal with our financial resources in such a way where we give, not just to the church. Of course, I want your generosity in the church, but
throughout all the different agencies that you are part of, your schools, your alma maters, all different kinds of things that you can be generous to, mission agencies around. Generosity, taking that which God has given to you and going out with it. You know, the cool thing, if you live from the perspective of the caster, the sower, you're not worried about judgment anymore. You're not worried about saying, well, I'm not going to put my seed on that person because that person's a waste of my time. No, you're not going to do that. You're just casting seed. Nor are you going to worry about, well, I'm not good soil. God's not going to waste God's time on me. No, we're beyond judgment. You know, we're going to pay attention to the big magic that happens. We're going to stand in the flow of the seeds that are coming to us, and we're going to grab a hold of them because we are good soil. You are good people. You are good people. The base of who you are is good person. You walk around in a dirty world, and sometimes it gets dirty on you, and you sometimes have to clean yourself off, but that doesn't mean that you're not good people. You are good people. You are good soil. So I want you to think about, what does it mean to be a sower? Abundant sower of kingdom seeds. Amen.
Would you join with me in a spirit of prayer? God, we thank you for these pictures, which we approach with humility as we look at the mystery. We thank you that there is no one right answer for parables, but there's so many invitations to see your love and your grace and your kingdom around us. And this day, wherever we are, whether we feel dry and rocky or consumed by weeds or ready to grow, we pray that you would continue to remind us of your abundance around us, of your goodness, of your creativity, and your seeds that are new every day. It is our hope that we would be people who would be receptive, that we would be fertile soil, and that we would delight at the seeds that grow in our garden and not be overwhelmed that, yeah, there's weeds too. On this day, we join our voices to pray the prayer that Jesus taught his disciples, saying, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. So in this moment, I would like to invite the ushers to come forward for our moment of giving. You can always text to give. Also, you can give online on our website under the Give tab. But if you'd like to put your offering in a plate, we invite you to do that as well.
We plow the fields and scatter the good seed on the land, but it is fed and watered by God's almighty hand. He brings the snow in winter, the warmth to swell the grain, the breezes and the sunshine, the soft, refreshing rain, all good gifts around us are sent from heaven above. So thank the Lord, oh thank the Lord for all his love. We thank thee now, O Father, for all that's bright and good, the seed time and the harvest, our life, our health, our food. No gifts we have to offer for all that love imparts, but that which thou desirest, our humble, grateful hearts. All good gifts around us are sent from heaven above. So thank the Lord, oh thank the Lord for all his love. I really wanna thank you, all good gifts around. I wanna thank you, Lord. Thank you for all of your love. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. Lord.
Sing one last song together. I know that recently we haven't been singing a last song together. We've been going straight to the benediction, and something about that was just bugging me because I think we should come together and sing one last song together. Is that okay with you guys? Okay, great. All right, so my first Sunday I was here, I taught a song called Here to Love. And I just think it's a great song. It's like a theme song of CUC. So I know you're starting to learn it, you're starting to get it, figure it out. So join in when you can. All right. Really think about these words because they're our story.
We must all unite, for we are one creation. We must join the fight, together we are strong. We must do our best in every situation. Love each other's lives as you would do your own. Just think twice before you cast a stone on someone's soul. It's their lives, so the choice is theirs and theirs alone. We're not here to judge, we are here to love. There's no room for hate. We are just one human race. We must rise above. We are here to love. There's no time to waste anymore. We must all unite. There's no more segregation. When you see the light, there's nowhere else to go. And with peace in sight, no walls could separate us. We would be as one because this earth's our
great music today. Thank all of you. Lauren, thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you. So now, you go out into your life. You know, we get you for about an hour. And we try to pour as much into you as we can. We want to lift you, inspire you, so you go out ready for another week. Ready for another week. Don't live like this. Live like this. Because I guarantee you, you're going to meet someone this week who's like, and it's going to be your job to cast the kingdom seed. Open up. Joy, celebration. Go find a trampoline. Jump. Jump. Jump with joy. May God bless you and keep you and shape you and mold you and love you and hold you this day forth now and forevermore. Amen. Sarah, sing us out of here.
1, 2, 3. We're not here to judge. We are here to love. There's no room for hate. We are just one human race. We must rise above. We are here to love. There's no time to waste anymore. We're not here to judge. We are here to love. There's no room for hate. We are just one human race. We must rise above.